My brain is dehydrated like a little raisin.
Did you know that your brain actually shrinks when you get dehydrated? And that can cause headaches because you have these communicating veins, not communicating veins, sorry, bridging veins. You have these veins that come off of your brain and go up into the wrapping papers of your brain, your cranial meninges, and up into your skull. And when you get dehydrated, your brain literally shrinks and it puts pressure on these things, and that causes pain, and that's where you get dehydration headaches from.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Dehydration sucks.
It does, for a lot of reasons. Drink water. It literally makes your brain the right size. It lubricates your joints. It makes your blood flow better. You can't break down proteins without water. That's called hydrolysis. You break down protein, like so many things in your body. There is not a single living thing on this planet that can survive without water. Stay fucking hydrated. A lot of people are chronically dehydrated. That's the lesson, life lesson for this podcast, for this episode. Stay
for this entire podcast,
hydrated. For the whole thing. If you've been paying attention, every episode, that's
if
the central message.
If the podcast goes on for 20 more years, the point was to get you all to drink water.
Hi.
God, that's bad.
Well, I had like 15 things to say, but I figured we might as well start it so I don't have to fuck with editing the sound with the video, you know?
You better start it.
Hi, I'm Forrest.
And I'm Ben.
Thanks so much for being here. Welcome to I'm Not Comfortable With This, the podcast where we're increasingly becoming more and less comfortable with this.
I would say, what's a good word for like detached from reality?
Welcome to I'm Disassociating Today.
I'm Ben.
Welcome. That's a great intro. That's perfect. That's what people want to see. That's what the youths of today will connect with.
The youths.
They'll
what
understand.
do people... So you wanted to touch on this. What do people normally do while they listen to our podcast?
Yeah. Okay, so I did have a couple of things that I wanted to start with. Is that we fucking love the comments that we're getting on this. Because we're only on YouTube right now. We're still... I'm struggling to set up a bunch of things, but somebody left a message on the last video talking about some service that like automatically disseminates this to several things, so I'm setting that up right now, trying to see if that works for us.
Nice.
But as of right now, we're only getting comments on YouTube because that's the only place this is, and we love the comments that we're getting. And one of the things that we're seeing right now is some people,
thread.
a couple people are talking about where they listen to us, and they're talking about just like, I think it was like someone said cleaning their house or something like that, or like organizing, or just
kitchen.
at work. Yeah. And they just have us on in the background. And that's so fucking cool because the most I ever listened to podcasts or TED Talks or whatever, my last job, I worked at an animal sanctuary. And I would be cleaning cages or like scrubbing turtle shells because they get filthy, or like, setting up enrichment programs for primates, whatever, I was doing that day, just boring, mindless things. And I would put on TED Talks or podcasts or whatever it was, and just have that going to keep my brain engaged while I'm doing other things. And it is weird to think that I'm providing that service now for other human beings. You know what I mean? It's very strange. So thank you so much for listening, genuinely. If you're listening to this right now, you put this on and you're doing whatever your day-to-day life is, whatever thing you have to do, you fucking do the shit out of it, man. You really get it.
Glad we could be your background.
I hope that we are just the right amount of completely brainless and also stimulating and entertaining. I hope that we're not too hard to listen to or too easy to forget about. So just you go get it today. You crush it. Whatever you're doing, you fucking crush it. And we'll be here rambling about almost inevitably politics, but like we'll be here doing our thing while you do your thing. And I want you to know that we're thinking about you.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who you are. I don't know your name. Fucking, you're probably a jerk. Who knows? Maybe you're a great person.
I mean, like, you're
whoever
probably,
you are.
Yeah, like, in spite of that, though, you guys are probably fine for the most part.
You're doing all right. You got things going on for you.
Do anything like evil.
If you're like, oh shit, I gotta clean my house. You know what? How awesome that you have a house that you get to clean. If you're like, oh, I gotta put this on while I go to work because I fucking hate my job. How thankful you can be that you have a job to bitch about, and you can listen to us complain about the government.
Okay. So
what a great life.
Right.
What a great life you have. And I'm glad to be a part of it.
Happy every holiday. It's
happy today.
It's
whoever you are listening to this.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be a cyborg?
Yes.
We touched on this a minute ago.
Mostly, probably.
Yeah.
I wish you were. You're gonna drag me into this conversation.
Well, because I am going somewhere with it.
Probably.
Like
probably. So listen, like you can ask my wife, and she'll tell you that sometimes I talk about like when I get the robot suit.
Yeah.
And she's like
a mech, like an external
worried about
exoskeleton.
I'm just talking like a fucking like a Master Chief suit.
Oh hell yeah!
Like
absolutely.
An exosuit that just keeps me fucking like a Doom guy suit.
That'd be rad.
I just want to be with the little personal shield, and I can just jump really high. And
that'd be tits. Yeah, absolutely.
And do whatever I want. But then when we talk about actual like fucking transhumanism, and we talk about actually like potentially unlocking the ability to like live forever.
Oh yeah,
quote unquote. That's when I get like really like fucking probably. People are like, "Would you do it?" And I'm like, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. If I could like upload myself into a machine and then be that machine and replace my body,
I'd be all about
as many times as I needed to and just live forever, I would probably do it. But I've heard from the media. From the media that I'm like, that's like dangerous.
Well, it's like the one hang up I have with it.
Well, and if rich people will be the ones doing it.
Oh, for sure. That will obviously be the problem if we stay in the stupid world that we're in now.
What is it? It's Altered Carbon. It's basically that story.
I've heard good things from so many people. I've yet to watch.
But it's basically like that. It's a dystopian future where the rich people do what they would do if they could do that.
Like fucking In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Oh my god.
I have seen that one when I was a kid.
That's
but like
pretty good.
The one hang up that I have with becoming a robot is that
cyborg.
If I was to like,
it's subtle but different.
Right. It's the problem that was posed by like the Deus Ex series, the video games, where like these corporations are making your eyes and your ears and your limbs and stuff. They can turn these things off if they don't like you, and the government has control over them. It's the same thing like when you remember when the terrorist attack, the two people in San Bernardino,
yeah,
and they had their exactly. Yeah. So they had their iPhones full of shit on it, and the government was like, "Hey, Apple, we want you to give us a back door into these iPhones so we can like figure out what's going on with these people." And Apple decided, "Hey, we're not going to do it. Privacy is most important." The government wanted to set legal precedent that the company has to do it, and Apple's like, you know what? No, we're not going to participate. And the government was like, that's fine. We had it anyway. It's cool. We just wanted you to do it willingly, but we already got it. And everyone's like, oh, well, fuck that. Like that's shocking. So, like that's kind of how I think about it with like transhumanism. Is I am so into becoming a cyborg for a lot of reasons that we're about to talk about probably, but like.
You could also get hacked.
Exactly. I don't trust the company that makes the shit. I don't trust the government that can definitely, absolutely hack my things and see what I'm seeing and all this stuff. And I certainly don't trust the fucking 13-year-old down the block that knows technology better than anybody that knows what it can. You know what I mean? Like the fucking
watch you
the nerds on 4chan know how to fuck with our technology better than the NSA does. I guarantee it. And the NSA is already scary as shit. Did you ever look up the
would I?
Like the ant catalog, the NSA's ant catalogs?
No, I don't think I should.
It's so like I
don't think I want to know about this.
They're only declassified every so often. So like the latest one that you can look at is from like the early 2000s. But it's literally just a catalog. Anybody can look it up and like read it. It's very plain. It's not esoteric at all. Anybody can read this. It's literally here's the product, here's what it does. And it's just the technology that the NSA had at the time. And it's the scariest, most futuristic shit I've ever seen. Like, shit that can fucking install things on computers remotely, untraceably from across the world, can download new operating systems with any files they want on any computer ever. Things that can fucking listen to things that are like miles away. You watch those YouTube videos of people like with the longest zoom out in history where like they can see this dude very clearly and then they zoom out for like 10 solid minutes and it's like the dude's on a mountain that's like a blip in the distance. Yeah. And like you read these catalogs and you see these videos that are like a decade or 2 decades old.
Well, yeah, because like now that's like consumer technology.
That's the tech that they had then that was mind-blowing
that's always how it goes. Like,
some of the shit in this catalog from like the early 2000s is fucking terrifying future tech today still. So what the fuck do they have today? You know what I mean? So like,
they got some good shit.
There's
no
way that I trust any like cyborg tech to put implanted into my body because of that. That notwithstanding, like taking that out of the equation though, holy shit, I would love to be a cyborg. You kidding me? Like, go get a fucking oil change every now and then instead of having to worry about my fucking knees giving out and, like, going to the doctor and like, fuck, I don't want to get coronary artery disease. That's fine. You literally just go get the new software update and your heart works fine.
Yeah, it's like, hey, today I didn't think fast enough. Can you, like, run a fucking diagnostic?
Yeah, make sure I don't have a fucking virus or whatever.
But it's like, yeah, you're all good. You should be good for another fucking 2 years.
Yeah, I live forever. I can fucking throw a football into the sun if I want, and I fucking can see 8 more colors. Like, I would love to be a cyborg. That'd be cool as shit. To get a new fucking leg bolted on because I don't like this one quite as much. You know, I want the one with the racing stripe because that makes it go faster.
Okay.
And then you have a whole new set of rights.
You can just put rocket feet on.
Rocket feet?
Rocket feet.
The whole new thing. You have to have a different kind of like Special Olympics for people who can fucking like
it's called Cyborg Olympics.
Cyborg Olympics.
No, but look. Okay, but look.
I'm looking.
What's your butt? You're saying you would love to be a cyborg, so
you're asking what my anus is particularly? Or like
what is your butt? No.
Are you asking does my digestive system change?
Does it? Oh, fuck. You know what? I wasn't originally, but can I change my question?
No, what's your butt is the end result of that question as well.
Yeah, no, what is your butt though? If you become a cyborg, where do you put your butt?
What's anything's butt? What's a car's butt? Exhaust pipe, yo. I'd just be spewing fucking hydrocarbons out. This isn't
fucking Futurama.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is that what it is?
Beer drinking robot.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. If you're a cyborg, you're gonna. Well, okay. First of all, if you're a cyborg, I think that would imply that you're still pretty human.
Yeah, you'd have to be mostly human, or at least half human. Right? Or is it
I think so.
Is it any human? You know
I'm pretty sure you got to be 50-50 at least, right?
What would you call it if it was the reverse? If instead of taking a human and adding robotic parts, if it was you took like a fully like computer system, like just a fucking desktop and gave it a fucking liver for whatever, you know what I mean? What's that now? Because you could have that, like you have the systems like to keep a heart alive during a transplant. You literally hook it up to this fucking machine that runs the heart, and it can run it for fucking days and days and days for you. And you can have this heart not only kept alive on ice, but instead actually kept functional, hydrated. It's doing the job.
Not a human though. That's a
is that machine
pumping a human heart.
That's the question.
That's a little bit different though. There's I don't know.
But if you did it backwards, you'd call it if you had a human heart and you added a machine to make it run better, you'd call that a cyborg thing. But if you have this machine and you put a human heart on it and the machine is running the human heart outside of human body, is that not some sort of a thing, some sort of an entity now that you could call it that?
No, it's not. What? No.
What if it's a human body that you're adding robotic parts to, but the human is brain dead?
Wait.
Because
Hang on, wait. Say it again.
So what if we're talking about a cyborg is when you add robotic parts to a human body, right?
Okay.
What if you have a human body and you're attaching robotic parts, but that human is fucking brain dead, or they don't have a brain at all, or they're decapitated or something?
Do the robot parts control the human body?
No, the robot parts are just there doing a thing.
Why are you putting robot parts on a brain dead human?
Well, then say that they are. Who cares? I'm just asking, like...
No, I care, because I, like...
If the implication is that the heart in a machine...
is it going to be like we put... So this guy is brain dead. He's in a coma, right?
Yeah.
But we put robot legs on him to make him walk walk around. Like,
it's just like a Weekend at Bernie's situation. He's just flopping around on top, and then we just walking and doing dance moves. And then we put
and then we put arms on him. We put robot arms on him, and we gave him a robot neck, and we sent him back home to his family.
But just the neck. What is the neck?
He's just like
jerking around.
He just. That's the thumbnail.
He's just fucking bopping around his house on these robot legs, making pancakes and shit, snapping his dead head around with his robo neck.
That's fucking awful. I just had to, but I visualized it.
It's like one of those fucking YouTube short horror films. God,
no, because I don't understand the point of putting robot parts on a brain dead.
Well, what I'm trying to get to is that
they don't do something at least funny.
What I'm trying to drive at is that you said that when you put a human heart into a robot machine, that's the whole function is to run this heart. That's not any kind of a cyborg. So what I'm asking is, if you're putting robot pieces into a person, it seems like the thing is that there's a motive for doing that the robot parts are now doing something for that person. So that implies consciousness, that implies they have deliberate actions, that there's a reason for it. Does that also then mean that, like, it has to have a brain? If it's a brain dead person who now has an automatic heart running them, is that a cyborg automaton, or is that just a machine that's helping this person live regardless of the consequences of their consciousness? You know what I mean? Like,
I guess it's technically a cyborg.
Does a cyborg imply human consciousness is basically what I'm getting at. Is there a purpose to it? Is there a point? Or can you make a reverse cyborg and take a fully functioning machine and slowly add human parts until it's a human now? Like the Bicentennial Man. Robin Williams made a movie.
Robin Williams.
Where they had a robot. He
eventually turned himself into a dead guy like an idiot.
Yeah, he slowly made himself human and then fucking died like an asshole.
Yeah, plot twist. Yeah. Being human kills you.
Yeah, that's the whole point of being human, is that you're going to fucking die stupidly sometime.
It was a good movie.
Probably sooner than you think.
But it was also like, the older I get, the more I'm like, no, he did it wrong.
He fucked it up at the end. Where the whole thing was like, well, now you have blood and now you're going to die. And like, shit, bro. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Is that, like, is that also a cyborg? Or is that a person? Is that a what? Like, what's going on in that situation? Also, the most important question, what's going on with your genitals? The most important question in any one of these discussions.
No, at that point, it's whatever you want.
You said something, but we were having this discussion.
I said I wouldn't have like a tri-dick.
3 dicks. Yeah, you wouldn't have 3 penises.
I personally wouldn't have it, and I think that if you saw one, you would be frightened.
That's the understanding that we came to before we started the show, and that's why I wanted to open with this.
A cyborg is a fictional or hypothetical person.
Ben looked it up. This is what we're reading.
A horrible start.
Okay.
Whose physical abilities are extended beyond normal human limitations by mechanical elements built into the body.
That's already a thing. That's not a fictional thing. If you have a fucking pacemaker defibrillator...
Yeah, right. That doesn't sound fictional.
That's not fictional. That's a real fucking thing that's around right now. What is that, Wikipedia? Get out of here with
that was
shit.
Fucking Oxford.
Fuck off, Oxford. Fuck Oxford. Fuck off Oxford. What? But no, like, you fucking... What did you say out there?
At best, a cyborg is just a combination of living tissue and robotic parts. So technically, your stupid potato man is a cyborg.
There's that, but also the machine that you plug a heart into is also a cyborg.
Yes. Until there's a committee and they fucking decide, like, okay, this is a cyborg and this is a potato with a heart machine. Like, then it's a cyborg.
Right.
The fucking, I guess technically, like, when they make those little drones out of the moths and the bugs and shit, those are cyborgs.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the little bug drones.
Yeah.
I love, people are like, birds aren't real, right? And I think at least 2 people in the world probably actually believe that birds are actually drones. And it's like, they could make bird drones very easily. They can also make dragonfly drones.
Yeah, it would be way easier to make an arthropod, like an insect, into a drone than a bird.
They've done it. They just put a little chip on them, and then they fucking... And then we can control pretty much anything this little piece of shit does from here on out.
We've already done that. We've got, like...
Yes, we have done that.
There are actually, like, government documents of fucking, like, remote-controlled rats and shit. Like,
done that,
like,
yes.
fucking things we've done in labs. It's terrifying.
So easily you could have some fucking... They could hack your fucking cyborg shit.
And that's what I'm terrified
They
of.
could hack your arm while you're
They can hack my dick.
touching your 3 dicks. Have you rip them all out.
Ugh. It'd be like a General Grievous situation. Your arm would have to like split into several different arms to get at your dicks. Your three cyborg dicks.
That's horrible.
It was a whole new world of fucking technologically advanced masturbation. It's horrifying to think about.
I think the best kind of masturbation would be like you just download yourself into a program that just fucking just makes you have like the best.
Just pornography becomes like a VR, AR, fucking downloadable experience. It's like a fucking
no, not even AR. Like you actually just go. You just fucking it just
blip
you
into
plug
a
in like the
situation.
Matrix. Like you stick a 9-inch needle into the back of your fucking neck, and you pass out, and you get downloaded into a fucking like
a weird harem into the cloud.
No, not even. It's just you just start having just like the hugest orgasm.
It's just the Elysian fields of jizz.
You just start. You just plug, and then go
It's a much shorter experience.
You just no. It can last as long as you want.
Terrifying.
You might die from it. Like
terrifying to think about.
It has warnings all over the box that are like more than 2 minutes at a time. You can like.
We know how bad you want to, but don't fucking use this too much, y'all.
Don't use our masturbation machine to literally come to death.
Our cum needle. Don't fucking use it too much. Just.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awful.
That's the future, though.
Fuck that. That's the kind of future I don't want to have to deal with.
It's already there. There's already little machines and like goggles you can put on. And you've seen it. You've seen the machine that.
Are you regretting putting this on while you're doing your housework again? Is that what you're at? Is this the type of shit? Now? That's the goal, is that we're going to embarrass the hell out of everybody watching. Their kids are going to walk in the room. We're going to be like, sufficient stretching. You could fit more than one raccoon in your anus. And they're like, Mom, what's going on?
Well, I don't think I ever put anywhere that like this podcast is for people who are like children.
Or like reasonable adults with brains. Like no, don't listen to this. Nobody should listen. That should be the thing of the podcast. This is not suitable for anyone.
No, maybe, but fuck you though, because listen, like the cybernetic future is totally coming.
Oh yeah,
like it's dumb shit. Some of this is dumb shit, but it's real shit that's gonna happen. People are gonna have to decide, like, are they gonna spend the rest of their lives without sex robots in their house? Or are they going to have a sex robot? What are they going to do?
You know what? It's funny to think about because, like, honestly, if you like, I think about it all the time. My grandma was born in 1925.
Couples are going to be like, honey, I really think we should get a sex robot.
Right.
For our marriage.
My grandma was born in 1925, and she just died a couple of years ago. She was 92 when she died. So she lived almost 100 whole ass years. And, like, in her life, she was born during the Great Depression. She was born during a time when having a phone in your house at all was an amazing luxury, right? She saw the TV start, and then color TV start, and then fucking the internet begin. And, like, by the time she died, I was showing her, like, my fucking smartphone, my Samsung Galaxy S10 in my pocket, showing her, like, hey, look, I can literally research literally anything that I want and learn it at any time, and most of the shit that I do on here is fucking weird, and, like, just, you know what I mean? And, like, she was fucking flabbergasted by the amount of knowledge that I was able to attain without getting a doctor, because she had a doctorate, and, like, she would all the time be like, I couldn't learn any of these things until fucking after I fucking graduated my EDD, you know what I mean? She couldn't do any, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I learned that fucking on the toilet this morning, like just doing nothing. And then I also talked to my friend in fucking Sierra Leone for a little while. Just, yeah. And like that, because, it like, blows her mind to shit.
Information isn't just fucking gated behind like years of work.
Exactly.
Anymore.
So like, I think about that all the time, and I think about like at the time when she was a teenager, like the shit that we have now was like Jetsons shit, you know, they're like, we'll have flying cars before we have that. And like, so now thinking into the future, really, I can't think of any kind of future crazy bullshit technology that I can write off, like actually reasonably write off and say that's bullshit. I can't think of anything like fucking, teleporters. I can't think of a way that would even be close to possible. But you know what though? all that my knowledge has shown me is that impossible just means we haven't figured that out yet. That's all that word means. And so while I have no way of knowing how that would ever work, I have no way of we haven't gotten there.
Teleportation is like a thing that you might be able to do, but it's so like the facts of what it technically is are so scary.
Oh yeah, no, there's a million ethical and legal and all sorts of options. Because like the idea that you would die here and be reborn there, and is it technically really still you? And like
or did we just create a demon?
Fucking like, and that's a thing to think about. And at the same time that I'm thinking about that,
is this Doom?
Yeah, because like it's like it completely deconstructs you at an atomic level. And then rebuilds you out of other atoms, because strictly speaking, 2 carbon atoms are the exact same thing. Any 2 carbon atoms are the same atom. So like, if we just completely just annihilate you here and then rebuild you over there with the exact same like atoms in the exact same positions, strictly speaking, that's still you. And also, strictly speaking, you just died in the most horrific way possible. But like, is that a thing? And while I'm thinking about that and how fucked up that is and how I would never be cool with that, I think about fucking during the 1800s when the steam engine was invented and they were like, hey, we can now go at like fucking 30 miles an hour. And you can look it up. There are newspaper articles and shit of people saying that no one will survive a ride on a train because the human body wasn't fucking built for going 30 miles an hour. We'll all just fucking collapse from horrible... Our minds will shatter if we're able to move that fast, and women will fucking have abortions out their ears, and the steam from the steam engine will kill all the birds, and the world will fall apart. And like, they genuinely thought the human body couldn't survive moving in that way. And like now... I fucking got on an airplane 2 weeks ago and fucking flew back and forth to go do a video shoot and shit. That would have blown people's minds, and these horse and carriage monkeys driving around shooting guns at the OK Corral. They would never have understood. They would never have understood. And so I'm sitting here like, oh, teleportation isn't going to work. When is it going to be the day when some fucking 20-something is sitting on his couch doing a fucking space podcast out on Mars? Like, these fucking idiots in 2021 didn't even fucking know what fucking teleporters work. Fuck you already, kid. Fuck you in advance, you son of a bitch. Probably 10 years from now.
We're going to be like, back in my day, there was no teleportation.
And they'll be like, how'd you survive?
We don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because like I can come to Mars right now and like 2
Kick your
minutes
ass,
and beat
kid.
the fuck out of you. But in my day, it would have been quite difficult.
Oh, man.
And I'm tired, so I'll probably just stay here. You punk.
You punk.
Fucking space punks.
Space punks are going to be a thing, yo. There's going to be assholes fucking jumping around with their jetpacks, bullying kids, taking their fucking space lunch money.
We can't just talk about like some sort of fucked up hypothetical future.
Just put space behind something and it's real. That's what it is.
Space.
These fucking space nerds getting their shit kicked in by the space jocks on the space football team.
Tell me it's
getting their fucking space swirly.
I gotta take my space driving exam.
Oh man, that's gonna be a real thing too. When fucking
they will not call it that. They'll call it your fucking pilot's license.
Well, yeah, at first. But what, do you get a pilot's license to fucking pilot a spaceship? Is that the same pilot's license?
No, what are you? Do you get? It'll be naval ranks, right?
Why?
Because of Halo.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know, because we've always done that.
The fucking Space Force is just the fucking Starfleet logo. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
And I hate that, but I also, like, you can't tell me that anybody else wouldn't have done the same thing. You know what I mean?
I just
made it something that looks like a thing that they like.
I don't.
The Space Force is just a fucking thing now.
Force, though. I don't like the name.
It's dumb as all hell.
Well, we got to have a Space Force because we're about to be.
It's not any stupider than Air Force.
We're going to very soonly be waging wars in near atmosphere. I promise you.
It sucks because, like, it's something that was necessary, that should have been done intelligently, that was instead done in the stupidest fucking way possible, just so that somebody could swing their tiny dick around, you know what I mean?
Do you know how scary it is, though, that, like, that's where we're going to take war next?
No.
I hate to derail
It's the inevitable progression.
But
it is scary, but like...
it's terrifying because when you do that, every time we take war to the next level, what's the first thing that happens? The casualties get upscaled.
Yeah, and also fucking war crimes.
Think about fucking orbital bombardments.
Yeah.
Of like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And indiscriminate as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the kind of like warfare that that we're headed to. It's like it scares the shit out of me.
As a biologist, biological weapons and biological warfare scare the shit out of me.
That's
like,
also,
it is also just as important and just as scary to talk about fucking like shit falling out of the fucking sky on somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that is also terrifying. The one thing that I like about the idea of space warfare, if I could like anything about any warfare, is that
I'm extremely interested in like historical wars and shit.
Oh, interested in order like to study them and understand them, sure, but like
I think war itself is pretty bullshit.
I don't fucking war sucks and like nobody likes it. But for all these fucking quote quote patriots that fucking fantasize about war, they don't fucking understand what war actually is, and they'd be fucking devastated to understand it for a second. I don't think there's any actual fucking like real actual soldier from like an actual war that would like fucking condone that as like a thing to go do. You know what I mean?
Not usually, and it's there are, but there's all kinds of people out there.
But like what I'm saying is,
most people I know who have come back from like serving overseas are like, yeah, it was pretty bullshit.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. But like the one thing that I can say that's a bonus, if war is a thing that has to happen, the one thing that I like about it being in space is that really does isolate the battlefield a lot better. Like low orbit and shit like that kind of sucks. But like actual space warfare, the people up there are only there to fight, and they are going to explode only there. As opposed to here, where it's like, we're going to this town and hope the civilians get out in time, and like, maybe this kid's a soldier, maybe they're not, maybe we had, all these horror things.
So if they're fighting that way, fine, but you know that like it's going to be more total warfare.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, like, the one thing that's a bonus about it is that it really isolates the battlefield so that it severely reduces, if not eliminates, the idea of civilian casualties.
You're going to need your cyborg body.
Oh, yeah, no, he's fighting in space. That's why fucking Star Fox didn't have legs, yo.
Star Fox has legs.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He cut off all of them. They cut off their legs.
No, those are boots. You guys.
They cut their legs off and have bionic legs so that the blood doesn't rush to their legs.
You
and they pass out during
guys are all
flight.
wrong. Nintendo confirmed that it's either boots or they have robot legs because they cut them off. They said it's one or the other.
And so they didn't confirm shit then.
Yeah, they confirmed that it's one or the other.
And I'm saying it's the other one.
I'm saying you're wrong.
Dude, there's no proof besides the fact that the things that like show it very clearly.
No, they're boots.
No.
They're fucking boots. No. Look at you played Star Fox Adventures, first of all.
I did play Star Fox Adventures, unfortunately.
Yeah, he wears pants and boots.
He wears pants covering up his robot legs and boots covering up his robot feet. What?
Nobody has robot feet, okay? If you're a robot, you don't have robot feet. You have, like, robot boots that, like, your feet are just big boots.
Why wouldn't you think people who have prosthetic bionic feet don't put them in a shoe to look normal?
Yeah, they do, but that's because they want to look normal.
Right.
In the future, nobody's going to give a fuck about that, I promise.
Why wouldn't he? Protect his feet from getting scratched up. They're expensive bionic equipment. You don't want them to get fucking scratched up and fucking destroyed and get shit on by a dumbass little stegosaurus fuck named Tricky. Wasn't his name Tricky?
Yeah, it was.
Fuck him.
The dumbest thing
Fuck that game.
I've ever talked about.
God, it's the worst game.
This is the dumbest thing.
Oh my God.
On podcast is Star Fox Adventures for the Nintendo GameCube.
Go look it up.
Don't look it up.
Gen
they
Z,
know what it is if they listen to
you
our
sons
podcast.
of bitches, Gen Z listening to this. Go fucking look at it. Go look up Star Fox 64 and what a triumph of a game it was. And then imagine our excitement when Star Fox Adventures comes out. And it's this cool ass fucking, you get to fucking do this amazing game that was so iconic, and you're on the ground running around with your blaster shooting dinosaurs. That sounds crazy. And then you start the game, and the first 5 minutes of it is Star Fox. You're flying in space being Star Fox.
Cool.
It's the best thing you've ever seen. And then all of a sudden there's fucking General Scales and Krazoa Palace, and you're a blue fox woman throwing barrels like you're in a shitty Zelda game, and then you have to go get a magical staff and guide around an obnoxious little fucking Triceratops dog, and you never get a gun! And it's
I beat it. I beat that game.
I hated that game, and I beat it too.
I beat it in like 3 or 4 days.
I beat it, and it sucked. Every second of it sucked.
It's terrible. Yeah,
it's the worst game ever made.
It was terrible.
It's up there with fucking, what was it? The Banjo-Kazooie car racing game.
No, that's better.
Is it better?
Yeah, that's better.
Fuck, man.
Or hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We're talking about like video games.
We could do whatever we want. This is our show.
I know, but that's like really comfortable. So just talk about video games.
That's true. It's too good of a topic for us to just
let's get back on the robot dicks and whatever.
All right, so here's the thing. You said something out there, well, before we started, that I want to...
3 dicks is too many.
No, you said that like at a certain point of upgrading your dick, it becomes less about like... What was it? It becomes less about...
Fuck. I don't know. It's less about what you're putting into it,
and more about like what you can put it in or something like that, like what you can do with it.
Yeah, it's like it goes from like I have this one dick to like I have these dicks with which I will impose my will upon the world. That's what it is.
This one's fucking hydraulically and pneumatically fucking. This like one's laser guided. This one's got a fucking. This one's got a fidget
dick is
spinner.
A war crime.
Oh, that's rough. Fucking this one's got a fidget spinner on it. Fucking.
What I'm saying though is that like that's terrifying. Like because if you think about it, like really crazy insane people could get like really crazy insane genitalia in this cybernetic future that you've envisioned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, 3 dicks, but it's like what's scarier than 3 dicks? It's like, oh, my dick is a chainsaw.
Well, think about like think about body modifications now. Like when people go get their tongue split down the middle, or they get gauges in their ears, or they get
fine.
No, I'm not disparaging any of that. I'm just saying that like there's whole ass shops dedicated to like these are the skin hooks that you can like slide into your fucking pectoral skin and like lift yourself up by your chest.
But that doesn't
we sell them on aisle 3.
Superpower.
But imagine when that's the thing, and you go to the fucking like advanced auto
like,
parts,
I
but
need
it's
my
like
fucking legs better.
It's like advanced dick parts, and they fucking have this is the one where you get like the fucking
not just dicks
gear
though,
shifts.
Forrest.
It's gonna be dicks. Well, it's always gonna be dicks
and butts and vaginas and boobs and things.
If we have the technology, it's going to turn sexual, and it's gonna be hilarious.
It's also like I got elbows that bend faster, and I got springy feet.
Okay, so you're saying there will be a whole ass like human parts store?
Yes.
With the dick aisle.
Yes. Yeah, dicks are just gonna be an aisle.
I hate this future now.
Why? Because you thought it was just we were all just gonna get crazy. Like it was gonna be like a.
It's that. Well, that's the only future that's funny to me. The other future is like a terrible reality that's inevitable and coming too fast, like the future dicks would be. Coming too fast was the joke. Was the whole
thing. But they won't, because they're gonna be fucking. It's gonna have anti-cum technology. But the biggest thing is like you can just turn orgasming off in this future, probably.
Like a switch.
Yeah, you can be like, I can last until I say don't last anymore. Please run, fucking don't last.
And when you fucking run out of jackhammers on the fucking roadworks down the way, you just turn off your jizz switch and you fucking just lay down on the ground.
Nobody's gonna be able to listen to this one.
This is the worst episode.
It's just that we just have been talking about fucking genitalia for so long.
What was your favorite episode of I'm Not Comfortable With This? I like the one where they talked about robot dicks for a long time.
Is that even gonna be like that's gonna be the title?
Robot dicks and nothing else.
You can't do that. The one where they talk about cyber
penises.
So look, You can't even look.
We're fucking children.
It's more. No, you
That's
are.
the problem.
It's more. My hearing. You can get better hearing.
You can hear somebody's robot dick down the road.
Fuck. Sounds like they're a fucking.
You need a fucking oil can. On that.
What is it?
Fucking get some WD-40 on that.
Stop, man.
Oh my god. It's so
What? Be able to think faster.
I keep coming back to the same thing, is that it's so absurd.
Yeah, penis.
And it's so stupid and it's so funny because I'm a fucking 11-year-old trapped in an almost 30-year-old's body. But like, what kills me is that it's fucking inevitable and it's gonna be real. You know what I mean?
Yes, but there's a bunch of other shit that's gonna happen too.
There's gonna be great things.
No.
There's gonna be great things and terrible things.
Mostly terrible things. Like rich people will hoard the technology.
Oh yeah, we'll make super soldiers out of it,
and
that'll probably be the main use for it. Is we'll make fucking augmented humans to go fucking fight brown people on the other side of the world, and fucking the best augmentations, the best technology to make the best humans will probably be used by oppressive governments to fucking suppress uprisings in their citizens, and fucking people will live to be 300, but only the worst kind of people. Fucking Lindsey Graham, the Ted Cruzes of the world will be the ones that live the longest because they're fucking sycophantic worms that make the fucking government work better because they can like that. All that's inevitable. All of that's inevitable. Also,
all of that is inevitable.
Also,
don't fucking say it, man.
You have to fucking put a new spark plug in your cock because
this show fucking sucks, and I hate you, and I hate this fucking podcast, and I hate it.
Oh god.
So anyway, I gotta figure out how we're gonna squeeze fucking.
What do we got? Like 45 more minutes left.
So much.
We're halfway through it.
So much more content out of Cyber Dick 2031 over here.
2031.
Fucking. I give it 10 years before you're able to fucking retrofit your dick with some sort of hydraulic pump that will finally please your wife. And I mean, I at this point, yeah, fuck you anyway. But I don't mean you like specifically. I mean like you in third person, like
with all three of your dicks. Fuck you in third person. Fuck you in the first, second, and third person with all three of my dicks.
The thing is. What bothers me is that, like, when I look at all this future technology that I think is possible or that we're headed towards, right, I do think about, like, it seems like we're on the dystopic path.
We always have been. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it seems like we live in the worst timeline.
Oh, yeah. That's the fucking...
Where, like, if it can be bad, it will be bad.
That's the damnable misery of it, man, is that, like, fucking every single opportunity that... Not just our government, governments in general.
No, you have
humans
screaming that we need to like start writing the laws for this shit now.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was getting at.
We have to start making the rules for this stuff now.
Every single opportunity that any government has ever had to be fucking shit, they have been. And the only way we've ever fucking made any progress in human rights at all is through fucking like extreme rioting and fighting back and crazy shit. Like, because the world, as Sacco said in Bo Burnham's incredible new special called Inside, the world is built on blood and genocide and exploitation. This country, not an exception. It's fucking part of the rule. It's par for the course. And so, like, we absolutely, before it becomes a problem, because it fucking will, need to start figuring this shit out and thinking about it now. It's why, like, all the scientists of the world, all the great scientists, Stephen Hawking, I think, led it, signed a thing urging all governments to always, to swear off of any autonomous weapons. Because we are very close to the technology, because we already have fucking drones and shit. We are very close to having technology where we can send a robot to go decide who to kill. and we don't. Nobody has to get their hands dirty. You just turn the robot on, and it's like, you look like a terrorist. You match the description in my brain. I'll fucking murder you. And like that's
they're still building it too,
right? But that's the thing is that we have to avoid that. We have to avoid that. We have to avoid biological weapons. That's why. Like all the the countries in the UN and shit all signed a thing saying we're never going to do bioweapons. Do I think for one fucking second that we don't have them ready to go just in case? Of course we fucking do. But we all signed a thing saying we wouldn't anyway.
It's not even going to matter because in like this version of the future that we're probably headed towards, it'll be fucking companies that have the biological weapons.
Oh god, yeah, no, the fucking Amazon fucking virus bomb and versus the fucking Apple bacterial infection that fucking drives you insane. Whatever the fuck it is. The T virus from the Umbrella Corporation. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course. Like, but that's the thing.
Make your problems turn into zombies.
We have to decide now what, like, robotic rights and what cyborg rights are going to look like. We need to decide now, like, what fair means. Like, we're already doing really well as a society getting rid of bullshit things like race and gender and like sexual orientation, like all these lines that we've decided to draw for the past however many decades. We're already doing a good job of getting rid of those. Our generation and the generation ahead of us are doing a really good job of it. They're like, did you see fucking Nickelodeon and shit had like Blue's Clues had a fucking pride parade and was talking about non-binary people and trans people. Nickelodeon explained like. Well, yeah, but like Nickelodeon did a bump where they like explained all the colors of the pride flag and like taught kids about what all those things mean. It's fucking awesome. We're doing a great job.
That's gonna piss a lot of parents off.
They can all eat shit.
They're gonna make all those kids gay.
Right? That's what fucking gets me, is the people who are like, oh, you're pushing this on kids. Do you think it was fucking pushing straightness on kids when it was literally anything else showing a family dynamic ever? It was, you fucking idiot. Anytime it's just like everybody's straight and the gays, we can't push that on kids. Just show them that everybody exists. Yeah, and then fair. They'll be fine.
Yeah, just put people on things and
just let them see diversity, and then they can know that they're themselves and those people are those people, and maybe they're some of the like fuck, man. That's one thing that I always got is when people are like, oh, it's a lifestyle and you choose to be gay. First of all, you didn't fucking choose to be straight. Think about that. But the second thing is, you should. You should. There's a good chance that you, like, are only, like, straight, heterosexual, cisgender, whatever, because this is what was pushed on you your whole life. You might be a little more bi than you might think. You might be a little more trans than you might be somewhat queer in some way that you don't know. And, like, that's something that you should take a second to really like observe and explore. Worst case scenario, nothing happens and you're like, oh, I kind of don't like that, and you're fine. Best case scenario,
telling like super straights to try a little penis.
Yeah, try it. Don't go like actually try it with a person. Don't play with somebody's emotions.
Anything
but like
you can do on this fucking week's episode to get back to dicks.
I wasn't gonna, but now I am, yo. Go explore is what I'm saying. Explore,
go try out the dicks.
Dream, discover,
dicks,
penises,
draw.
No, just like explore your own self, your identity.
No, that's fair.
Take a second to do that.
I don't even know what an identity is.
But because we have this weirdly heteronormative society that's like grossly obsessed with fucking straight sex, and it's like strange.
Becoming a robot man might not be an identity.
It might not be. It might be. Who knows? It shouldn't be.
I have really fucked up reasons for wanting to become a cyborg robot.
Do you want to talk about them? I'll tell you why I'm cool with it from a biological perspective, from a science perspective.
I think I could do a lot more good if I was a robot.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
A lot more like Batman style good.
Oh hell yeah, that would be rad.
Like beat up criminals, and then I'll take those same criminals to like a rehabilitation center where they can really like learn to be better.
One of your dicks shoots batarangs. One of your dicks has like a lasso of truth.
I'm sorry I kicked your ass with my 3 dicks, but I just need you to know that I think you can do better. So I brought you here.
My big thing about like the cyborg thing is that like I used to be very against it because I was like,
I get really weird cramps here.
In your knee?
No, in my foot. You were against cyborgism?
Yeah, I was against...
Cyborgasm?
I was totally... cyborgasm.
That's the name of the podcast now.
But like, I was super against any kind of transhumanism because I was like, oh, but that changes what it is to be a human, and like humans are special. Like,
And then you were like, no.
First of all, humans aren't fucking special.
No.
Second of all, humans changed what it is to be a hominin. Hominins changed what it is to be a primate. Primates changed what it is to be a mammal. Mammals changed what it is to be a tetrapod. Tetrapods changed what it was to be a fish. Fish changed what it was to be a fucking worm. Worms changed what it was to be an animal in the first place. Like, every step on the evolutionary process has been a radical fucking change. I don't see anything different with becoming a cyborg. It's just deliberately taking charge of that. So, like, I'm totally into that. Also, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. We were talking about, like, our theses and whatnot, and he had a really, really good point. That I am fucking... Brett, if you're listening to this is a fantastic fucking idea. And it blew my mind apart. He argued that... I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. That like a beaver's dam is part of their DNA, technically.
Yeah, you talked about it.
He argued that humans, by definition, are already cyborgs and always have been. Because one of the ways we define the genus Homo is tool use. That's technology. Is making tools. Yeah. So our technology, starting with the first stones that we started chipping away at to make the first like choppers and hand axes, that technology is a part of our DNA. It's a part of what makes us human. It's our phenotype. Technology is our phenotype. So strictly speaking, it's part of us. Just making like technology and using it and making it a part of us is us. That's and really so we are already cyborgs, and that blows my fucking mind. It's a phenomenal way of thinking about it. And so, like, I see no difference now. The more I think about that, I see no difference between making a fucking stone chopper and with a fucking Oldowan complex, fucking the earliest Homo habilis fucking thing. Here's a fun, interesting fact. We have stone tools. The earliest, oldest stone tools are called Oldowan tools. We have Oldowan tools that are older than the earliest Homo habilis fossils, which was the first fucking in our species, in our genus. The oldest humans, we have older tools, but we still just assume that there must have been humans at that time that we just don't have fossils of. We still chalk it up to them. It's possible that the Australopithecines made those, but we just don't see that happening. It just doesn't. So whoever made those tools, we're calling them Homo something. We just haven't found their fossils yet. And so we say that Homo habilis did. That's true. So, like, I see no fucking difference between these early stone tools defining our fucking genus, which, again, the definition is just arbitrary shit that we made up anyway. Who fucking cares? But, like, I see no difference between that and us today making fucking bionic limbs because we lost an arm, so we make a thing that fucking plugs into your brain and you can control your hand now. And like,
no, but
I see no difference at all.
That's making up for things lost. When we talk about like real, like the true core of what this really gets to is like
making us better.
Yeah, is actually like not just oh, I don't have this part anymore, let me replace it. Like, let me completely upgrade this fucking part.
You know what I think about? Like, when
let me replace this with a part specifically designed to do a specific function.
Yeah. Like, so our eyes can see things at a certain resolution.
Specifically eyes. I think eyes are going to be one of the most modified parts of the human body.
Absolutely. Well, that's like our eyes can see things at a certain resolutions, which you can translate into megapixels. I don't remember how much it is, but like our eyes are however many megapixels.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It also is like, it's kind of like weird. I think like it's like a thing that doesn't technically like directly compute.
Right. But it's if you could compare them, you can draw this line.
Yeah.
And so like we have cameras that have better resolution than our eyes do. And what gets me,
things that our eyes can't see, colors,
right?
Heat.
What gets me is that if you're just talking in terms of like resolution and shit, there are ways to test that, of course. But at face value, you wouldn't know. You can't look at this picture and say it's in a higher resolution than what your eyes can process because you're still processing the picture with your eyes, right? Yeah. So you have this better picture. If you could, though, improve your eyes to a better resolution and see this picture better, number one, what the fuck would it look like? That's crazy. But also the possibilities. What could you do with them then? You know what I mean? Like what more could you then accomplish?
Have fucking eyes and you can like and like the telescopic NSA lenses we were
That's exactly where I was going with it.
Do that?
Yeah. And you can fucking see this guy on a mountain a mile away.
Step out on your balcony and look at anything you fucking want.
Like a fucking Tolkien elf. Fucking gazing across the landscape.
Vision and switch to fucking heat vision.
Yes.
Fucking yeah.
Yes. God. And that's the thing, man, is that like that's what makes me a big proponent of transhumanism. Is that as much as I don't trust governments and corporations and things like that, I am a huge advocate for like making our bodies better because it is the same reason.
Who's gonna decide like who gets to do that?
Well, that's the thing, is that if we can establish a better order to the world where like fucking we're not it's like back to the same. I knew we were gonna get back to this. Fuck, it's all the time. God damn it. Is that we always talk about
world order,
improving basic human rights, and making sure that everybody's taken care of. We have a better system, a better order to the world where everybody's actually taken care of, and like human rights and dignity are actually at the forefront of our focus and our industries and everything. Like we make this better new world for ourselves. Then we don't have to worry about the rich people only have the thing. Fuck all, that's not a problem anymore. And then like investing in human happiness and like making our bodies better, it goes straight back to the same thing that I always say. How right now in this stupid, broken, selfish, greedy world, we're just filthy fucking monkeys scrounging around the dirt, begging for scraps, and like I see a bright new future where we could fucking go beyond the stars and we could fucking build Dyson swarms on every star we come across, and we could become a fucking galactic species, and we could fucking control planets and fucking build new society.
Fuck with 3 dicks at once.
And we could have so many dicks, man. So if I haven't sold you on my fucking new world order yet, guys, fucking the dicks that we could have. Think of the possible dicks. Like, oh man, it's like that would be a whole new thing. We would be a new species.
Put out there, man.
We wouldn't be these stupid Homo sapiens. We would be a new thing that we fucking designed to be better. We could be gods.
It's back to
and we waste our stupid little lives making things up to worship. And we
oh God, here we go with the shit, with the speech, with the shit about the Mercury and mining the planets.
You gotta hear me out.
I did already.
You haven't heard even half of my ideas.
Fucking damn.
I'm not going there today.
No, you should
leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Because you've been harping on fucking cyborg dicks for like...
like 50 solid minutes.
Yeah, and I've just been trying just politely to like... What about the other stuff you could do, Forrest?
What about it?
And that's what's scary, is that like you people could do anything with the dicks they could accomplish. Like there's so many
the dicks they could accomplish. Think of the dicks we could accomplish.
There's so many different the possibilities are scary.
If we were ever gonna get monetized, we are now not gonna get monetized.
I thought we were gonna do like a Patreon or something.
I have a Patreon. We'll make a different one just for this someday.
We'll have to
invest in the future of RoboDings.
God, that can't be how we end it. I just think that I'm more worried. I think that's part of it. Like the sexual aspect is a part of the future for everything.
Yeah,
that's why like people are making sex robots and stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like we're almost to the point where you got full VR fucking blowjob machines and everything, you know?
Yeah. Like
it's there because people do like to have orgasms because they're addicted. We're all addicted to it. I think a lot of people are addicted to it. They've had too many. And that's partly because of the internet. But it's like...
What gets me is
there's so much other spooky shit that comes out of
and it's
cybernetic technology.
It's so worth talking about. But then you watch that did you see that video of the like blowjob machine that has like hair and shit?
Yeah.
The uncanny valley is so fucking real, and it's ugh.
Yeah, but we're gonna work that all out. Right now it's an uncanny valley, but like give it a little bit.
It'll be any part of it.
It'll be they'll have a fucking robot bitch that can walk up to you, Forrest, and completely trick you. Yeah, and she'll be like, "Come with me." And you'll be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll come with you." And then you go into this little concrete room, and the guy's like, "All right, get ready. I'm going to put 3 dicks on you."
Just like a fucking rivet gun.
And you're like screaming, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's the future." Fuck. It's the future you created.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All this is happening on Mercury. Where nobody can hear you scream.
Or come.
Except for, like, the people with the cybernetic fucking ears.
Who are just horrified and regretting their purchase.
Because they subscribe to our Patreon. Dude, this fucking one, like, I mean, it's, we do, man.
We've made some bad episodes, but this one, we have to think about whether or not to put this one out. We have 20 minutes left.
How many minutes do you have to fucking put the podcast out, though? See, that's the scary thing.
Oh, God.
How many hours are left until you have to put one out?
Oh,
Less than 48. It's less than 48 because this week has been hellacious.
Yeah, this has been a rough week.
So that's why we're sitting here talking about robot parts. And we've also never like run out of fucking content before the end.
No, I don't think we have yet. I don't think we have. We're just it's what
That's
all
terrifying.
I'm sitting here thinking about is like whether or not I want to actually sit down and listen to this episode and get a notebook out and a tally out every single time we say the word dick in this video.
And then that's the title.
And,
like
and the one where they talk about
dick
this and this
so
and say
many
the word
times.
dicks 187 times.
It's going to be a good editing process.
So one other thing that we should think about as well is while we're talking about transhumanism, you talked about what's your butt going to be like and what's food going to be like. There's already people with diseases and,
oh my
and
God, a
disorders.
real fucking topic.
Yeah,
Jesus
right.
Christ.
People with diseases and disorders and things that can't eat.
Okay.
They have, like there's
You got like peg tubes and whatnot?
yeah, well, like you have some where like they'll literally just have nutrition in a fucking IV bag directly going into your bloodstream.
Okay.
Or if it's like a chronic thing and somebody like there are people who literally wear a backpack full of just like food sludge and it just connects through a tube that goes down through their nose and like has a little balloon in their duodenum and it just dumps this sludge into their stomach slowly throughout the day because they can't physically eat anything.
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
people are still going to want to eat, right? You know?
well, I'm saying like if we're robots, then
We're
you
still
could
gonna wanna
literally just go fucking like plug in a food pack and like you're set for the next fucking 3 weeks and you just crank one of those out every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people are going to want to enjoy a meal.
Well, so that's what I'm saying is that like the purpose of your senses in terms of like taste and smell and things like that, like the purpose of these things is to tell you what is good for you to eat, and to be around. It's a survival mechanism. This tastes good. This tastes sweet. This has the nutrition that I need. We have now taken that, and when you look at really any art or industry, like every one of our senses, there is a whole fucking form of art and industry to bring pleasure to that sense. There's culinary arts, fucking Gordon Ramsay out there making the best tasting shit. There's art that you paint with to be beautiful for your eyes. There's perfumes to get your sense of smell. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
there's music.
that would just be the whole point of it. Wouldn't be for nourishment anymore. It would just be what's the craziest fucking molecule that we can make to put on your stupid useless tongue just to give you some jollies. You know what I mean? Like it'd be a whole other thing.
Oh my God, it literally would just become food science.
Yeah. It wouldn't be food science anymore. It would just be flavorology. There wouldn't be a point for food.
This
Food
is
would just be a fucking pod.
This is like a skit in a Deltron 3030 album we're talking about now at this point. There's a Deltron 3030 album and there's a skit in the future. They're talking about food technology and they're like, it just makes you taste whatever you want to taste whenever you want to taste it.
Fucking, it's like that song, fucking everything you think, do, and say is in the pill that you took today. fucking you just crank them out, man. It's just you have whole fucking you can plug in a new fucking. It's like a game pack, an expansion pack.
Crank them out.
Yeah.
Just fucking
like an expansion pack in a video game. Like, remember back in the day when you had like N64 and you actually had to get a physical cartridge you plugged in, that was the rumble pack? You know what I'm talking about? Before controllers just rumbled because that was a thing. You know what I mean? And now you have this pod.
I too am old as fuck. Yeah.
So like now you have this pack that you plug in and it completely changes the way that the game literally feels. So imagine that. Like you plug this in and now you know physics. And it changes the way you perceive the world.
Well, yeah, no, I mean the idea
just
of being able
download
to
this
just fucking
degree.
download information to my brain is not like crazy. What's really
Tell me
interesting
it wouldn't come in a
I
cartridge.
I don't think you'll just.
How cool would that be?
It might, but I don't know if you'll plug like a cartridge or a chip into your brain to download information, or if you'll just have something that's got Wi-Fi on it.
And you just beam it.
Yeah.
But then you run out of fucking hard drive space. You have to get like a 10 terabyte brain.
I don't know, man. I think if we can unlock the actual storage capacity of the brain, we'd probably have like a lot of space.
We already have computers that can think faster than the human brain.
They can think faster than the human brain. The human brain like still stores like an insane amount of information.
I guarantee we have computers with better storage. I'm just saying, when can we replace one with the other? You know what I'm saying?
When can we replace our brains with computers?
Yeah.
Like, probably in our lifetime.
Because the issue now is that the brain is so fucking cool because it's plastic. The brain is fucking cool because it's able to... So, for those of you who don't know, when I say the term plastic...
You have to,
Yeah,
that took me a long time to understand.
Yeah, so the term plastic literally just means moldable. That's what the word plastic literally means, like the root words. And so when you talk about having a plastic brain or having plasticity in the brain, it's not saying like it's made of fucking like hydrocarbons, like plastic, like fucking it's gonna go pollute the ocean someday. I'm saying that like what it means is that it's malleable.
If you think about it, the brain sure did pollute the ocean.
Right. That's our phenotype, is we're fucking gross. What it means is that your brain literally changes shape. Like your neurons actually move around and change what they're doing depending on what you do. So like, for example, Einstein's brain, the part of the brain that handles like patterns and mathematics, and it's on the temporal lobe, was insanely dense because literally neurons moved into that area to do that job. That's why language learning is so easy when you're young, because literally you don't know any language, and now every experience with every human forever, you're building your language and you're building your vocabulary. That's why young people can learn as many languages as they need to, and it's really, really hard when you're 30 or 40 and you've only spoken this one language to now go back and pick up a second one, because you're literally having to rewire that part of your brain to get good at learning again. So like that's what neuroplasticity is all about. Is your brain is plastic. It's able to redo itself. I don't like that. Fucking light just turned on for no reason.
What the fuck is that?
That's
about?
terrifying. Fucking ghost in here turning on my lights. Fuck off. It turned off.
Okay.
Eat shit. Don't do that again. I don't like it.
I don't like that it did it right after you told it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna fucking get jump scared when I fucking go look at the fucking camera. Fuck that.
What does that mean? Does it mean the video stopped recording?
I have no idea what that means. It's never done that before. That's horrifying. Fuck, man. Oh, you're hearing it first, folks. When if I post this, you're gonna hear us get murdered by a fucking cyber ghost.
You're gonna post it. It's too close to Sunday. We have no. This is going up.
I can't post it if I'm murdered.
This piece of shit's going up, even if this piece of shit gets murdered. I'll upload it. I'll find a way.
I forgot what I was talking about because Terrence the cyber ghost fucking scared me. Neuroplasticity.
Terrence the cyber ghost. Neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Neuroplasticity.
The one cool thing that the brain has going on for it is that it's plastic, and like computers aren't. You have to fucking deliberately make it do a different thing, or design a new computer that does a certain thing. And so like that's the issue. But if we can make a learning computer, a neural net computer that like learns how to get better, like a brain would, then that's crazy. And I'm pretty sure we already have that. I remember reading, I might be wrong about this. Fact check me and tell me in the comments if I'm wrong about this. But like I remember reading something that like Google, like their AI that like runs their shit, humans don't actually even know how that fucking works anymore. It's self-learning.
It is started. Yeah, AI is starting to get to where it's
it's teaching itself how to work itself better than we know how to
It's
work
doing the old Skynet thing.
And then you have that whole conundrum of like fucking you design a machine to write greeting cards, and its whole job is to become better and better at writing greeting cards, and it writes so many, and it's like getting so good at it, and finally it just reasons that like it can never write enough, so the best thing to do is to destroy all humans, because then it will finally have completed its task of writing enough greeting cards, because there's no one else to write them for, and so it fucking launches all the nukes so it fucking kill everybody, and now it's done writing greeting cards, and it can go to sleep.
Isn't that like the same thing with the paperclip theory? Like if you build like a thing its job is to build the world's best paperclip, and now it's going to do anything. Like I think Sam Harris always talks about it.
Really?
He's like, now it's going to do anything in its power to complete this task, like of creating the world's best paperclip, and he gets the same conclusion, like it's got to destroy humanity to make the world's best.
Yeah, it's just that's the only
way to do it. I don't remember how he does it, but he's like, yeah, but it's like the same thing. But it is terrifying to think about that.
Yeah,
because that is kind of like a thing that could happen if we don't build it right. It could very easily do that. It's got to have some sort of check, and like you can't just. It's not as simple as putting in some sort of fucking Isaac Asimov fucking three rules. Like, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
Anybody who messes with any kind of technology, like, if you just fuck around with computers or you play games or you deal with anything on the internet, you know that technology fucks up all the time.
Yeah.
And this is pretty good stuff we have. Like, this is like top tier human technology we're fucking around with right now. We got the good stuff and it fucks up all the time.
That's true.
And then you add, and then you fucking talk about putting that shit in your brain or in your body, and it's running. It's like, fuck even the need to hack your body.
Your brain's just gonna malfunction and you're gonna shit your pants and die.
Yeah, what if you fucking Apple fucking auto updates your fucking brain chip, and then oh shit, it was bad. We gotta patch it. Except for the people that got bricked.
They're fucking, dead. It's over for them. Shit.
Obviously, they're just like they're gonna be refurbished.
Yeah. Refurbished
people
humans.
Will be refurbished.
Oh my god,
that's like a fucking thing.
Dr. Daniel's home for refurbished humans. Fucking oh lord,
Dr. Daniel.
Just that's gonna be a thing. The fucking cell phone doctor stores. You have to go in there and they just fucking stick a probe in your ear and it's like, oh, I can taste green now. All right, well, that's
like
fucking.
Imagine like you're a normal person with all your normal components, and then something happens to your fucking like. One of your like receivers in your brain.
Yeah.
And now you hear voices.
Yeah.
And like it's like it could be any kind of voice. You don't know. You're just picking up random transmissions and there's no fucking way for them to fix it.
Right.
Like you just stuck that way and it's like you were fine and now you're crazy.
Well, and like all of these things, they have real world like counterparts. Like you talk about, could you get these wires crossed and have all these problems? Synesthesia is a real thing. Yeah. People get the wires crossed in their brain between like their different senses, and they can literally like taste sounds.
I taste and, like, this color.
Yeah. And like I've seen people who talk about that, and they're like, they're discussing their experience, and they're like, by the way, this is my friend Jessica. Her name is Orange, and like that, you know what I mean? Like that's how the name sounds. It sounds orange to me, and like, what the fuck does that even mean? But it makes sense for that person, and like that blows my mind. That could be a thing that's actually just like a bug for people's fucking robo brains. Something like that's nuts to think about.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
Absolutely madness. And what really gets me is that like there's a really good book that everybody should go look up. It's called Chaos by James Glick. Have I talked about it before? I think I have. Maybe I've talked about it to somebody. I
think you've talked to me.
I teach so many different fucking things to different people at different places. I forget who's fucking who and what I've talked about to where. So forgive me, audience, if I've discussed it before. But it's a book about chaos theory, like physics, and it's about how in our very organized and ordered universe there is a very creepy underlying absolute randomness and chaos.
Yes.
And beneath that chaos, there's an even creepier, almost kind of order, and like that's wild to consider, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think about that, and I think about like how that applies to technology when you write code and you just put in like, you make a horrible mistake and it's like, this will never work, and it fucking works. And you don't even know how it works. Talk to anybody who studied coding. Like, I don't know how this worked, but it did. And the scary thing is, there are rules to how it's supposed to work, and that ain't it, Chief, but it did. And I don't know why, but it did. And, like, that's something that we have to worry about when you're talking about, like, how, like, transhumanism is going to work. We don't know why this works, but it does, is a truth in not just coding, but in biology a lot. And like a lot. There's things where like when you talk about like genetics, for example, there's a lot in genetics where like, we don't know why this is the case. It looks like junk, but the shit don't work without it. So like, we had dark matter and dark energy in physics.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck it is, but the universe wouldn't work without it. So
there has to be something there.
It's certainly
and that's
there.
What people don't like.
And here's a fun fact.
Oh God, they hate that.
Have we talked about dark matter and dark energy in this?
We have not.
Okay, so here's what you need to know about
we're
this.
We're just gonna barely touch it.
No, I'm gonna make sure people understand. This just like really quick, because people ask me what it is all the time.
Okay.
Dark matter and dark energy. The term dark is literally just a placeholder word for we don't fucking know. We look out at the universe. We look out at galaxies, and we can use physics like modeling and computer models and like mathematical models. We can map out how gravity works and how these galaxies would form with all the best technology and the best science that we have that works on everything else. And what we find consistently all the time is that there just isn't enough matter there to make the gravitational forces that we're seeing happen. And so there must be some other matter there that doesn't interact with light in any way, doesn't absorb it, doesn't reflect it, doesn't emit it, doesn't do anything. We can't see it, we can't touch it, but it's there and it's doing something. That's what dark matter is. We have no fucking idea what it was. And dark energy is largely what's driving the expansion of the universe. When we calculate all the energy that we know to exist, because E equals mc squared, energy is a part of matter. It's a fundamental. It is what matter is. When we calculate all the energy and all the matter in the whole universe, then there just isn't enough to do the things that we're seeing. And that's what dark energy is. And here's what you have to fucking understand about this. Because it's very easy to go like, okay, yeah, these are the mysteries of the universe.
Break it
and
down.
we just, that's something we'll discover. Because that's everywhere. Everywhere there's mysteries to the universe. There's always stuff that we don't know. And it's very easy to write this off as another thing. Here's what you have to fucking understand, is that all the matter that you know to exist, you and me and the phone or whatever you're listening to this on, and the table that you're sitting,
the kitchen you're
the
cleaning,
cheese and the galaxies and the everything
Especially
that
the
you
cheese.
know to exist, that is 5% of the universe. 5%. Dark matter is 25%. So a quarter of the universe is shit that we don't fucking know. 5% is what we do know. And what's the other 70%? That's the dark energy. Which again, energy is a form, it's matter and it equals.
Yeah.
So what you fucking 95%, let me get real close. 95% of this universe is shit that's so unknown to us. We don't even know what it is that we don't know about it. And we just call it dark. Everything we know about physics, chemistry, life, the immense amount of knowledge that we have about this universe, which is still full of holes, is just 5% of the actual physical universe. We don't know shit. And somewhere out there in the universe, crazy shit is just waiting to be known. And that gets me up at night, man. That's fucking crazy.
You know, it's probably fine. So
It's probably fine.
Woo! fuck. Okay, so 95% is unknown.
95% is shit that we don't even know what it is enough to say that we don't know what it is. Yeah.
Bro, it's the darkness.
It's the darkness.
It's gonna kill us all.
Yeah.
It's the fucking, it's just
And what's really scary to think about,
literal like space anomaly nonsense.
What's really crazy to think about is that like you can have,
but it has a gravitational pull.
Yeah, well, dark matter does. Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Yeah. What's crazy to think about is that like you can have, so like everything is at different states of energy. I'm going to use very, very like colloquial layman's terms here. Okay. These are not technical terms, but just to make this
dumb folks,
to make this content or make this concept make sense.
Idiots who can't get these simple concepts.
Is that sometimes you'll have something that's in like a high energy state that's actually unstable, even though it doesn't appear to be, and then it collapses to a lower energy state. So like, for example, isotopes. There are radioisotopes. An isotope is an atom that has a different number of neutrons than a normal state atom. So like, for example, carbon has 6 neutrons in it. You can have carbon with 7 or neutrons in it, or 8 neutrons, or whatever, and those are unstable, and eventually they'll break down into normal carbon or into nitrogen. So like that's how like carbon dating works, is you have nitrogen in the atmosphere. Nitrogen has 7 protons. One of those protons gets blasted with an electron, turns into a neutron. Now you have carbon, because it has 6 protons now, it's carbon, it's going to behave like carbon, because that's the whole definition of an atom, of a species of atom, is how many protons it has. So you now have carbon that is unstable. Eventually that neutron will decay, spit out an electron, become a proton, and now it's nitrogen again. And carbon dating works that way, is that we're able to see the ratio of how much of this heavy carbon is in a thing. I can explain that way better if we have more time, but we don't. So like,
yeah, we'll have to come back. Well, I'm sure we'll make our way back to the elements.
Surely. So like that's how radiocarbon.
We have quite a bit we have to talk about again in this episode.
That's how radioisotopes work, and there are stable isotopes, which are different isotopes that they don't ever decay. They're just completely stable. And it's entirely possible that stable isotopes don't exist, that they're all radioisotopes. And a great example of that is vanadium. The stable isotope of vanadium that we thought was stable for a long time, until we were able to calculate the energy that it was putting off, and we're like, oh, actually, it is a radioisotope. It is going to decay. Just the half-life of the decay is longer than the age of the universe. And so, like, basically you have these, this matter that's in a high-energy state that can decay into a low-energy state spontaneously. Yeah. And it's possible that there is an even lower energy state that we don't know about for everything. And that if at any moment some matter somewhere were to just kind of get knocked out of its stable area and kind of go through fission and come to, that it would then spread, and literally, like the darkness in fucking The Neverending Story, the universe would just slowly start falling into complete nothingness, into disarray, and like energy itself would fall apart, and like that would spread faster than the speed of light and just wipe out existence, basically.
God, dude, since we're on the topic of spooky space shit, like the voids.
Like the Buddha's void.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. That's I saw that. Anytime I can watch videos about that stuff forever, because I'm just because I really don't get it. I'm like, why?
Nobody does. The Buddha's void, for those of you who don't know, it's this huge swath of space with fucking nothing in it.
For no discernible reason.
Nothing.
Like there's nothing in there that we're like, oh, okay, that did it, or this cleared it out. Like there's nothing. Like it's just like, this looks like something like it looks like it popped.
It looks like someone took an ice cream scoop out of the fucking universe. Yeah. There's just nothing there. And like there's nothing between a lot of things, but like that's a lot more nothing
too. Yeah, and
a lot more nothing than any other nothing has ever been.
It's way too much nothing. It's
terrifying.
It's like a whole fucking little mini galaxy went dark. There's a lot of stuff like that. If you go online, go on YouTube if you don't already, every now and then you want to get spooked out by space if you're like me and you like to think about how crazy and insignificant everything really is.
Oh yeah.
Like stuff like, do you research the voids? Fucking sounds from space,
and you wonder what fucking forerunner species learned that they could destroy their Mercury and become a fucking galactic empire,
Exactly,
and got so much fucking energy that they fucked up and made a bomb that wiped out several galaxies.
Jeez,
and that's the Bootia's void now.
Oh my gosh. The story's the tapestry of the universe. Can tell.
It's crazy. We should definitely talk about that next week because we're out of time today.
Yeah, we are out of time.
Thank you so
much.
much.
This has been a meandering nonsense episode about Robococks.
I was gonna say robot dicks before we wrapped it up to make sure we threw in a few more.
I beat you to it, Robo Dicks.
Dicks.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much for tuning in.
Fucking metallic and phallic. Phallic, metallic. Okay, anyway.
If you made it this far in the episode, fucking bless you. For sticking through
it was a stupid one, but it wasn't. The thing is I do want to come back, not necessarily to cybernetics. I definitely think we need to cover, we need to do a better episode on transhumanism.
A better episode
as a concept.
Yeah.
Not just talking about like robot parts. And I don't mean to harp on the robot parts either. I mean specifically like transhumanism as more of a concept than just like adding or taking away body parts.
For sure.
Like uploading your consciousness is also a thing, and that's like going or putting it on something else, like a hard drive or something, you know.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a hard drive, but
something like that. Yeah. Awesome.
Like, that's all really cool stuff. And then also we need to probably do a whole episode about
scary space shit.
Scary, for sure.
I hope you had fun organizing your office or cleaning your kitchen or whatever while we rambled on about fucking cybercocks and scary space and whatever the hell else we talked about this time. Thanks so much for tuning in. I seriously appreciate every single one of you who listen to this every week. I do not understand why, but I do appreciate it. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'm Forrest.
And I'm Ben.
And this has been the worst podcast on the internet. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye.